Spiritual hypnotherapy is a term I started using this year in January of 2026, really kind of, as you so eloquently put it, coming out of the spiritual closet. What I love to do is help you, the client, reconnect to your soul, understand what that means, heighten your intuition, access your gifts that you already have, get back to joy, happiness, your authenticity. And, if that means doing a past life regression to really get to know about your soul's journey, if that means meeting a spirit guide or an ancestor or an angel that has been with you since the beginning of time to help you understand some of these things, then that's where we go. That's what we do. If it's inner child healing, then that's what
Yeah.
it is. A spiritual hypnotherapy for me really just means helping you get back to your spirit because once you connect to your spirit, that's the name of the game.
Welcome to Next Level You podcast. I'm Stefanie Dingbaum, your host, your biggest cheerleader, and your go-to girlfriend for real, raw, and uplifting conversations about leveling up in life. As a mental health therapist with over a decade of experience and a business coach helping women elevate their lives and businesses, I'm here to guide you through the mindset shifts, holistic practices, and manifestation tools you need to step into your most authentic, next level self. Whether you're here to ignite your personal growth, elevate your professional game, or simply rediscover you, this podcast is your invitation to dream bigger, go after your goals, and unapologetically claim the life you deserve. So grab your favorite drink, get comfy, and let's dive in. It's time to up-level, manifest, and glow.
Welcome back, beautiful souls, to Next Level You podcast. You guys, today I am so excited to introduce you to Lynnsey Robinson. You guys, Lynnsey Robinson is one of the hosts of High Vibe in It podcast. And I recently, I say recent, it was probably about, a month and a half ago now that I interviewed her co-host, Kelsey Aida, and I was just so starstruck through that whole interview because they're like expanders in my world. I've been listening to their podcast since I think 2020. It's really hard because the timeline since COVID is so blurry in my mind, but I've been listening to it for a hot minute and I just never dreamed that they would agree to come on my podcast of all people. And so I just feel so honored that when I got done recording with Kelsey, she was like, I know this is a big ask, but would you consider also interviewing Lynnsey? And I was like, of course.
Yeah.
Of course you can ask that. So I feel so honored to be in Lynnsey's presence today. And what feels even more special about this interview, not to diminish the one with Kelsey at all, because that was also super high vibe, but what I really felt drawn to specifically with Lynnsey and why I didn't reach out to her before Kelsey was because Lynnsey is also a hypnotherapist. And if you guys have been longtime listeners, you know that it's my goal to become a certified hypnotherapist. And I don't know. I just felt like there's no way Lynnsey would agree to this. Like, she's a pretty well-known, in my mind, you're a pretty
You're
well-known
just so
person.
nice. Listen to that. I
Okay.
could listen to this all day. My goodness.
Yeah, it
gracious.
probably really fills your cup up. But I didn't dream she would agree to this. And so I feel so honored that she is with us today. Like I said, she's not just a podcast host, though. She's also a spiritual hypnotherapist. And so as I've been really like in my mind, visualizing and imagining how today's episode would go, I've been getting a lot of downloads over the past couple of days. And I feel so drawn, especially because in the next month is when I'm getting certified. I feel so drawn to wanting to talk about clinical hypnotherapy, spiritual hypnotherapy, all the things around that, past lives, all the things. There's so many rabbit holes we can go down. But what I also love about Lynnsey is just the fact that if you go down a rabbit hole with her website, with her Instagram page, you guys, the depth of knowledge that she carries on so many spiritual topics from like soul contracts to like the subconscious manifestation, of course. There's so much that we can cover today. So we're really just going to let spirit lead and guide the conversation wherever it goes. But I just want you guys to know, like, this is a big deal to me. Lynnsey, why don't you just introduce yourself, or I'm just
Well,
gonna
this
like
is a big
keep
deal to
going.
me too. Like, I didn't even know. Kelsey emailed me like, "Hey, I just was on this podcast. Would you want to go on it?" And I was like, "Yeah, absolutely." I had no idea till today that you even listened to the podcast. So I'm
Oh,
I'm just so you have a new fan. I'm so excited to be here with
thank
you. And
you.
and yeah, I loved your intro. Thank you for glazing me so well. Wow, I can't. And that who wouldn't feel good about that? That's just great.
Right,
But
right.
yeah, I know that no matter what we talk about, it's going to be hopefully what people need to hear, and
Yes.
hopefully I can leave you guys with some some things that give you hope and give you some practical like action steps to create more peace in your life because that's all I really want for you and me, if I'm
Absolutely.
being honest.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. And you're not solely just a hypnotherapist. Why don't you tell listeners like
Yeah.
all of the hats that you wear?
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, I'm gonna leave a lot out because I can never
Okay.
remember it all, but
Sure.
I things I've been some are so random. So hypnotherapy is my
Right.
main thing. A lot falls under the hypnotherapeutic umbrella. So, like, if I do a past life or a soul journey or a life between life,
Mm,
that's all hypnotherapy. If I help you stop a habit or if I help you reconnect to your authentic self, that's all
mm.
hypnotherapy. There are other ways I can help you do that through EFT. I also do tarot and oracle readings. I can help you analyze your handwriting. I can help you interpret your dreams so that you never need a dream dictionary ever again. Again,
Wow.
gosh, what else? I'm a historian. I'm very, very obsessed with medieval history and patterns, and I'm a genealogist. I studied at Boston University for genealogy, so I can do
Wow.
your family tree and love every second of it. Oh gosh, what else? I love crocheting. It's my favorite thing.
I love
I'm also,
that.
you know what I'm studying right now is one thing that's on my list to study in the future is light language. I really want to learn like DNA activation, but one thing that I'm really passionate about right now is interpreting runes, like Celtic runes.
Yeah.
My kid got me a book for Christmas and I've just been obsessed with studying that kind of thing and ancient feminine wisdom, divine feminine rising. I'm all about it.
Love
I don't
it.
know if anybody knows anything about human design, which I also
Yeah.
have some knowledge in, but
Yep.
if you know about human design, I'm a manifesting generator and one thing we
Okay.
love to do is do things and learn
Yeah.
about things and have our fingers in the proverbial pots as it were. So there's just it never ends. I have a whole list on my biography of all the things that I'm certified in or have continuing education in and it just I know that's not even half the list, but that's all I
Right.
can think of at
Right.
the moment.
No, that's an amazing
I
resume right there.
qualified sister, daughter, whatever.
Right. Yeah. Besides what I am
All of
personally.
those
Yeah.
things.
And you guys also you have an app too, right? That
I
you
do have an app,
launched?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's not part of the podcast, it's my own personal baby for all of my best
Awesome.
digital products. So it has all my hypnotherapy, all my I have EFT sessions in there, I have card pulls in there, I have manifesting hacks in there, ways to really I like to call them cheat codes to really
Yeah.
hack your system and decide what you believe to move you
Okay.
forward instead of just kind of dealing with whatever's in there,
Love
there
it.
being subconscious
Yep.
to help you
Yep.
kind of get to one of them is called Next Level Self, so it's very appropriate for this podcast, I think.
Love that. And that
Mhm.
app is the Align Your Mind app, is that right?
The Align Your Mind app. Yep, it's
Okay.
free to download. There's actually a lot of free content in there if you even don't wanna become a paid member, but once you do become a paid member, you get access to literally everything inside of there.
I
We also
figured.
do monthly events. By the time this goes out, I'm pretty sure my February event will have been done already.
Okay.
And then so the next one coming up would be March. We're doing a 21-day mindset challenge, which is just every single day a different thing to help you, get to your next level, most authentic self. And I do lives in there and everything. So if you're not in, that's something that's coming up in March. Just find me on Instagram, click a link, you'll find it. It's very
Yeah.
easy. Sorry, I don't mean to
Awesome.
promote it right now, but
No, I
you
love
did
it.
bring it up, Stephanie. Okay, so
Yeah. Yeah, it was on my list and I wanted to make sure I mentioned that because I that was one of the things I looked at and I didn't
yeah.
know you had an app until recently. So that's awesome.
Apparently, I need to talk about stuff more. I don't know. Because
Listen,
there's so many things that they're like, "Oh, I didn't know you had that." I'm like, "Okay, well, that's my
yeah.
bad, sorry."
Well, I think we assume because we're consuming our content all the time, we assume that our audience just knows, like, I have this
Mhm.
offer and I offer
Yeah,
this.
I'm
And
working on the app all the time, so to me, it's so front of mind that I don't even think about that it might not be for anyone
right,
else.
right. That's fair. Yeah. So, can we just start for people who are just not anything close to the level that you and I are at? Can you just explain to listeners what spiritual hypnotherapy is?
Oh, yeah. So spiritual hypnotherapy is a term I started using this year in January of 2026, really kind of, as you so eloquently put it, coming out of the spiritual closet. I
Yep.
had been doing, I really hadn't changed anything about my work or what I love to do. What I love to do is help you, the client, reconnect to your soul, understand what that means, heighten your intuition, access your gifts that you already have, get back to joy, happiness, your authenticity. And, if that means doing a past life regression to really get to know about your soul's journey, if that means meeting a spirit guide or an ancestor or an angel that has been with you since the beginning of time to help you understand some of these things, then that's where we go. That's what we do. If it's inner child healing, then that's what
Yeah.
it is. A spiritual hypnotherapy for me really just means helping you get back to your spirit because once you connect to your
Mhm.
spirit, that's the name of the game. Once you
Yeah.
can feel like a spirit having a human experience rather than vice versa, that's when the plans or the game starts to change and your world gets to get flipped upside down in the best way and things start
Yeah.
happening and opportunities come and
Yep.
you start to have the I'm a gamer also. So what I want to say is you start to have the video game controller in your hand. You start to be able to
Oh,
direct your life rather than just be led wherever feeling like you're being led wherever it takes you.
I
Um
love that. Yeah.
did I answer that? I think I did.
Yeah, that's a really good metaphor for that. I love that.
I just came up with it
I
on the spot. Can you believe it?
That's perfect though. That's a perfect way of explaining it. I feel like when I did my first past life regression, did an Akashic record reading. It was probably the first one was probably 2023. And it was like that point forward, my world was just flipped upside down, like how
Mhm.
it opens your eyes to, well, just in general, being open to past lives was almost like I needed that door to be unlocked for
Yeah.
me to realize, like, you hear the term, especially when you're listening to like spiritual or manifestation podcasts, you hear these hosts talk all the time about like that quote that you said about we're spiritual beings in a physical world. Like
Mhm.
you hear that all the time. But I felt like I finally was embodying that spiritual being and was like how I look at death, how I look at
Oh,
hardships,
yeah.
it just changed all of it for
100%.
me in the best way possible. And I think everybody needs to reap that benefit
Mhm.
because it just seems like it makes life so much easier
Yeah.
in so many ways. You're still going to have hardships, you're still going to have bumps in the road, but it's how you respond and react to those bumps because you have more of an altered state of how you look at things and you take less personal.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's just so interesting how that just totally changed my view of the world
Yeah. And
in
I
the best
I
way.
I love that you mentioned you're still gonna have bad days. I will yell this through a megaphone. If you listen to any podcast that I do, even the episodes where we talk about things that work for us, I usually am the one to always make sure to say, like, there's nothing that's gonna fix everything. You're gonna have bad days. Like, we're not trying to sit on
Mhm.
pedestals and tell you, like, once you get here, everything's fine. No, no.
Right,
No, no. Please don't
right,
ever think that. When you're done, you're dead. So as
right,
long as you're here, there's work to be done. And you can
right.
either think of that as like, oh, exciting, what's next, or you can think of it as a bad thing. I tend to go both ways sometimes. Like it
Yeah,
depends on the
yeah,
day. But I think it's very important that we mention that. And I also will tell clients like the bumps in the road will still be there. You're just
right.
getting better shocks to absorb the blows. Like you're not
Yeah.
gonna feel it as much. And so it's a shifting of the lens that you see the world through.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
it just feels better. It's like
Yeah,
I have the best recipe. You have to try it. Here it is. And so
right.
if you try it or not, it's up to you, but I
Yeah,
got it. It's right here. Um,
right. Well, and I think there's also something to be said about like, when I was going through our fertility journey was like a 7-year long journey, and when I was going through that, what really helped me was telling myself, like, "Listen, this is just, like, the karmic lesson that your soul chose to go through, like, I don't know why you're going through it either, but for some reason or another, this is the path your soul chose." And that even helped me, like, it helped take it less personal, like, "Why am I going through this?" No, 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 your soul chose this for you,
yeah.
Stephanie. And that even like, that shift was huge for me because I just think even in the fertility journey, like, we take things so to heart and personal, and that's fine because it is a hard journey. But when you look at it through that lens of like, this is what my soul chose for me, I just think it really, like, lessens that blow a little bit. Not that it's not any less hard on you emotionally,
Mhm.
because it was a tough journey, but I'm saying that with complete empathy as somebody, like, who went through a long wait herself, you know?
Yeah. Anytime we have something that we can't understand
Yeah,
can fall into that. Why me? Why is this happening for
victim.
me? Look how easy it is for
Mhm.
Jennifer.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah,
Jennifer, but
Right,
I'm
though.
sure
Yeah.
there's a Jennifer living her best life somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so when I did not have a good childhood. I mean,
Mm,
objectively, it was not
mhm,
a safe place, it was not a stable
mm,
place, it was not healthy, okay? From any angle you look at it, it was a train wreck that I couldn't wait to escape from. Now,
mm,
when I was 19 years old, my sister gave me a book. I always had, like, questions about religion. My mom's very religious, my dad is absolutely not. They got divorced when I was
mm,
very young, so when I left my mom's house to go to my dad's house to live with him, I went from before that, it had just been, like, on the weekends, I'd see him sometimes, and I didn't really know him that well, you know?
I
And
can
so,
relate.
when I got kinda plunged into his world, I think I was, like, 10, almost 11, and I started learning, like, reincarnation, huh? Like, my dad is the biggest hippie you've ever met. He's a hippie hermit, I like to say, because he
Huh.
doesn't I know I hope he forgives me for saying this, I've said it many times on different podcasts, but he's a huge empath. He would never
Mm,
categorize himself as this because I don't think he even knows that word.
yeah, yeah,
He's like 70 something now, so
right.
he grew up in a time where if you feel something, you have to medicate yourself somehow. You have to deal
Yep,
with it somehow.
yep,
Don't find out why. Like, why would you ever do that? Like,
right, right. Why would you
just
get to the
figure
root?
figure it out yourself. And so a
Yeah.
lot of people will take to, different ways to do that. My dad chose to just never leave the house.
Mhm. Yeah,
And because he always described it as, like, I can hear people's thoughts. I know what that means now, even though I don't
right.
necessarily feel it in that way. When I go to a public place, I can feel the energy, and it
Yep,
really bothers me,
same,
very
same.
much so. So, like, I don't like hectic like,
No.
Thanksgiving this last Thanksgiving, I went to my sister's house, and I was like, I couldn't even eat because
Yeah,
the amount of energy in that room, and I know it's getting worse as I get older, but, it is what it
yeah,
is.
yeah.
Anyway, so, maybe that happened for my dad, and now I'm understanding so many things through
Mm,
just growing up and hearing him repeat the things that he used to say, and now I'm, like, have a whole different understanding. Anyway, the point
yeah.
is, I had 2 very starkly different viewpoints from my parents in terms of, like, spirituality, or my mom was like, this is a direct quote from my mother, okay. "Don't think about the devil or he'll find you."
Okay.
Okay? So that's what I was dealing with. And then I go to
Okay.
my dad who basically is like, "I was there at the crucifixion. Jesus isn't who people think he is." And I'm like, "What are you talking?"
Wow,
My dad's a
okay.
fascinating creature, he really is. He
Yeah,
would
sounds like
also
it.
shuffle through the house and be like, "I'm never coming back. This is my last life. I can't do this anymore."
Wow,
Yeah. I
fascinating.
know, right? Like, how lucky am
Okay.
I?
Yeah.
He's also a kook, like, don't get me wrong.
Sure, sure. Yeah.
But
Oh,
but
fascinating.
but I look at that kind of stuff, fast forward, I get this book from my sister. I know I kinda went on a side tangent there, but
No, I'm following.
my sister gives me this book. I'm 19 years old, just out of high school, have 2 very conflicting viewpoints in my head of, like, what do I do with my life? Where do I go from here? Who am I? All the things. My
Right.
sister gives me this book called Destiny of Souls.
Yes.
Yes, thank
Okay.
you. Thank you.
Yep.
Have you read it?
No, but it's on the Amazon list.
Okay, read
Yeah.
it. No, I'm get it out of your Amazon list, I'm not kidding.
I'm gonna write
This
that
is
down.
this is a call to action for everybody listening. If you have not read this book, if you're not familiar and you are interested in the soul's journey, this is a psychologist. His name is Michael Newton, who worked on addictions and depression and anxiety and all the clinical things, yes? And so as he's working with these clients, spontaneously, well, he learned hypnotherapy as part of his work, still very clinical, but he started doing hypnotherapy with these clients who consented to doing this. And they would spontaneously go to a past life, or they would spontaneously just become soul energy and start talking about things that he was like,
Wow.
what the heck is going on? And it
Wow.
happened quite often. I don't know what induction he was using. I'd like to know because
Yeah.
how does
Yeah.
this spontaneously happen so much? I guess unless this was part of his life, contract where this is the
Right.
moment where you start to learn about this stuff. Anyway, he compiles all these transcripts now he knows how to do it on purpose. So he's very interested in what's going on and he starts asking clients if they'd be willing to just go on these journeys. They said yes. He starts compiling transcripts of these sessions and creates a book about all these sessions. It's literally just transcript after transcript and client story after client story.
Wow.
Fascinating,
Okay.
amazing records, that he had from these clients, he would change the name and stuff and, get their permission where needed. But
Right.
it's all
Right.
very by the book. But it changed my entire life, lit me up,
Cool.
locked things into place that I did not know needed, answered questions I didn't know I had,
Yeah.
everything. All the boxes were checked. And I was like, I need to know everything about this guy, these books, his work. And I at 19 decided I wanted to be a hypnotherapist.
Love it.
I'm not going to tell you what year this was, but it was a while ago. And so, so I within a year of
Okay.
learning about this man and learning about his work and doing all these things, I moved to LA because there was a school in Northern California that I wanted to go to called the Michael Newton Institute for Hypnotherapy.
Oh,
And
yes.
I wanted to go there so bad. I knew that was what I wanted to do. And then I got to LA and realized it was very expensive, super expensive, like
Yeah.
ridiculously expensive. And
Yeah.
so I got a job, as you do, and forgot about hypnotherapy because I needed to make rent. Okay. And then
Okay.
it took 7 or 8 years later, I had my first son, and I was like, "What do I wanna do with my life? I need to figure this out because I don't wanna go back to work. I don't wanna go." I was working at GameStop. Did I mention I was a
Oh,
gamer?
funny. Okay,
Yeah.
you said you were a gamer, and I was like,
Yeah.
wow, you don't come
Uh,
off like one, but okay.
well, technically, I was managing a GameStop. It's a little bit
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
I was it was wor either way, it was a retail job, and I was working for the man, right? For the
Love
gamer
it.
man, and I was like, "I don't wanna do this anymore. I wanna be home with my kid. What do I wanna be when I grow up? What makes me happy?" Immediately,
Yeah.
hypnotherapy, boom, came rushing back to me, and I got excited again. Long story short, I almost let my limiting beliefs hold me back because I
Mhm.
heard in my head, "That's irresponsible. How dare you? You have to get a regular job. You have a kid now. You're a mom. Like,
Yep.
that's for other people to do.
Yep.
You have to do what works." And I almost listened. Now I know what that was. That was my subconscious trying to keep me safe. But then another voice showed up that was just a whisper. It's just a little teeny tiny, like, why not though? But hang on, why can't you do it? Why can't you do it?
Mhm.
And I didn't really have a good answer. And I decided to listen to that voice, called the institute I ended up going to, changed my life. And here I am with you now. But the whole point of that story, I tried to wrap it up really quick so I can get
I
back
love
to
it.
the actual point. That book was the moment where I realized everything that had ever happened to me was a choice by my soul. And listen, I know how that sounds. We know how that sounds.
Yeah, I know.
It
Yeah.
sounds like victim blaming. But what
Right.
I'm trying
But
to
it's not.
what it did for me and what I hope that it does for you. And of course there are circumstances outside your control. Of
Yeah.
course I could not help what people did when I was a child. I had no
Right.
power, right? But
Right.
if you can open the door to hope that your soul knew better
Yeah.
and knew that the person that experience created is the person that now gets to I'm gonna cry, that now gets to sit here and talk to you and hopefully help other people, I would not change a single second.
Right. Right.
I just wouldn't.
Right.
And I always explain it as like, I don't know the person that didn't have to experience what I did. I don't know who that is. I'm sure she's
Yeah.
fine. I'm sure she's
Yeah.
great. But I
Yeah.
know this person and I love this person. And if I had
Yeah.
to even change shoes or change skin with anyone else, I don't think I would do it.
The
I work too hard
visual
to be here right now. Like
I to
I'm not trading this for nothing.
I totally agree, and as you're talking, the visual that's coming to my mind is, like, to help listeners understand so that they don't, like, get offended and,
Mhm.
like, don't take this so personal. It's like your soul almost looks at your lived experience from, like, a zoomed out view,
Mhm.
whereas, like, it can see the big picture,
Yep.
but we, as human beings, as physical entities, have a zoomed in view where we can
Yes.
really just see the here and the now, and it's harder for us to, like, take a step back and see the big picture and realize, like, there's a rhyme and a reason to everything.
Yeah.
But that's kinda how I look at it, is like, okay, zoom out. Like, the soul's not looking at this from the same view you are,
Yeah.
Stephanie. You know what
Yes,
I mean?
exactly. And I'm always checking in with like, okay, what's the soul perspective? What's the soul perspective? Now,
Yes.
it's I also akin it. I
Yep.
liken it to, how you say like it's
Yeah.
akin to. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
trying
Yep.
to do too many things, but it's like when you're staring at a carpet fiber on a microscope. It looks like a giant
Mhm.
mess. It looks like a hairy mess. But when you zoom out and you see the hand woven tapestry fabric and the beautiful like mural that it created, it's completely different, and I think that that's how it is, and of course, it's easy for me to say now being
Yeah.
so many years distant from the things that happened. At the
Yeah.
same time, you can never really explain that to a child, to a kid, to a
Mm,
teenager even. It
mm.
takes a certain level of distance to see it, and I think that's the important thing, is it takes a
Yeah.
certain level of zooming out of distance to be able to see the value that
Yeah.
you have scraped and crawled for and earned
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
bit of gold that you've gotten from every single experience. So if you're one of the people listening that, and I've done this too, where you have a bad experience, let's say it's a terrible breakup, and so you swear off
Right.
all men and that all relationships suck. However, you did gain something from each and every one. Each
Yeah.
person that has come into your life has given you something of value.
Yeah.
Please don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. By the way, who that's horrible. Horrible phrase. I hate that phrase so much, but it works, right? Like we
Right.
all know what
Yeah.
that means. Don't throw it all out because you've earned, even if it's just a tiny speck of gold in a pile of crap, you've
Yeah.
earned that speck of gold. You deserve to have it. So I would say it's easy to just throw it all away when it's painful. But
Yeah.
if you are brave enough, you can find the value and take it with you.
Yeah.
And it is so worth it every time.
Yeah. I would agree. Yeah. I love that. That's such a beautiful perspective. And I feel like it's a perspective. I mean, this full transparency, this episode probably won't air until summer of 2026.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
quite a ways ahead in collabs right now. Like
That's
I'm
always
set.
good though. That's such a good
It's
problem to have, isn't it?
it is. It really is. Yeah. But I what I really want to hit on from what you just shared, I went into an Akashic record reading because I just felt like there was this inner knowing that like,
Mhm.
okay, what you're carrying, Stephanie, it's not coincidence, but it's also not something that you carried in or that it's not something that I just had like this inner knowing that I carried it in from I didn't know the language of past life at the time, but I just felt
Mhm.
like I don't know, I picked this up somewhere. I don't think it's mine to carry, but I
Yeah.
couldn't explain that at the time because of where I was still at in my spiritual journey. And so I went into this, well, at the time, I just went into what I thought was just going to be a Reiki session. And then she's a friend now, but the practitioner, Hillary, was like, would you be open to an Akashic reading? And I was like, I mean, I've heard about it, but I honestly don't even really know what that means, but I'm open to whatever if you think I need it. And that realizing things that I had
Mhm.
carried in and having these like visuals come to me in that sitting that I had no explanation as to like why I was
Mhm.
seeing what I was seeing. It's like a mind movie. That's how I've kind of explained it to
Yes.
people who aren't at my level spiritually. It's like it's a mind movie. It's like your imagination just like running with this visual and you don't know any rhyme or reason as to why that particular visual came up, but that's what your subconscious is giving you or your soul
Yeah.
is giving you. But can you explain like what might lead somebody to intentionally want to do a past life
Oh
regression?
my gosh. Well, if you're asking me, it seems like the most fun thing in the entire universe. Like,
Oh, I agree now. Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
but people there's lots of reasons to do it. And I've seen all kinds of reasons. Simple curiosity is
Mhm.
the main one. Sometimes it's I need to know if me and this person have had previous lifetimes together or
Mhm.
they want to understand the soul connection.
Mhm.
Sometimes they wanna see if there's an origin for their phobia, you know?
Mhm.
And a
Mhm.
difference between a phobia and a fear, by the way, you probably know this, but if your listeners don't, a fear is something you can tie a cause to. You remember the moment it started, and it is a rational thing to be afraid of. Like, I got in a car
Right.
accident, so I have a weird thing about cars.
Yep.
That's a fear. That's a
Yep.
very well-founded fear. A phobia generally doesn't have an origin. You can't really explain where it
Mm.
comes from, and it may be irrational. Fear heights.
Right.
Unless you've actually fallen off a building and broken a bone or something, then that would make sense. But if you've
Yeah.
never had an experience where this could be a thing,
Mhm.
then that's generally a phobia.
Yeah.
And we would work with that in a very different way than you would work with a fear.
Let's talk about something that drives me absolutely crazy. We have been conditioned to believe that fixing our health has to come with a trade-off. Want better sleep? Cool, here's a pill. Oh, but here's some grogginess, dependency, and a list of other side effects. Are you struggling with your hormones? Here's a medication that might help one thing, but then it's going to mess up 3 other things. It's exhausting. And honestly, it's BS. When I was going through my fertility journey, I hit a breaking point because every medication came with side effects that impacted my physical and my mental health. And I finally got to a point where I was thinking, there has to be a better way. I refuse to accept that this is just how it has to be. That's when I found earthly wellness, and it completely shifted how I approach my health. Here's what I love about Earthly. They believe you should be empowered to make your own informed health choices. They create herbal remedies and body care products that support your health naturally with clean, non-toxic ingredients that you can actually recognize and pronounce. There's no side effects, no junk, no parabens, no fragrance, preservatives, or common allergens like corn, soy, gluten, dairy, or nuts. Just pure, effective products that actually work. I started with their Goodnight Lotion and Immunate Vitamin C, and then I got into their tinctures. And honestly, every single product I've tried has been a game changer in my life. They've supported me through my fertility journey, and I genuinely would not recommend them if I didn't believe in them wholeheartedly. And I'm not the only one, you guys. I've heard from clients and listeners who've experienced incredible shifts as well. One person said, my sleep has improved a ton since using the gut health oil. It in April, and almost 2 months later, my sleep has sustained. Another person shared, my menstrual cycle has been off for years, and the only supplement I added was the gut health oil. Since starting it, my cycle has been more regular. Here's the thing, our society has normalized living with symptoms. It's messed up. Thyroid issues, hormonal imbalances, heavy, painful periods, daily bloating. We've been told that's just how it is. It's normal. But you guys, it doesn't have to be. These are symptoms, and there's an underlying root cause for all of them. Earthly has products that support not just the symptoms, but the root of what's going on. As a mental health therapist, I recommend Earthly products to my therapy clients all the time. I always suggest trying something holistic first and foremost, something that won't create dependency or side effects, and Earthly delivers on that every single time. They have products for all ages, body care, herbal remedies, vitamins, cleaning products, baby products, skincare. It's truly a one-stop shop for anyone who's ready to take their health into their own hands. So if you're tired of the side effects, tired of Band-Aid solutions, or just ready to invest in your health the right way, head to earthly.com using the link in my show notes. And here's the best part. If you're a first-time customer, you can use code CHOOSENATURAL, that's all caps, CHOOSENATURAL, for 10% off. If you're a returning customer, you can use code COMEBACK for 10% off. That's all caps, COMEBACK for 10% off as well. Your health is an investment. Make it a clean one.
One of the ways, if the client approaches for it, would be a past life. Now, at this point, most of my clients know that I do past lives, but back in my clinical days, I would never say, you know what we should do?
Yeah.
Let's do a past life. Because you don't know, you don't want to step on their toes. You don't know what their boundaries
Right.
are. You don't know where the line is. So you just definitely don't want to cross it unless they approach you with it.
Right.
A little bit different now. I still don't really, present it as an option unless they have mentioned like, oh, I did one before, or oh, I'm very interested in this. Then it's like a safe topic. But I think that's important with pretty much anything. But yeah, there's all kinds of reasons. I'm sure every listener could think of tons of reasons why it would be really cool to know their soul's journey and who's coming with them and who's been with them for lifetimes. Like, it's just so exciting.
And I think if you're a spiritual person, like I just really have now done multiple sessions where I just felt like, okay, I either carried this in from a past life or this is something I picked up in my lineage. It's either like intergenerational trauma to
Oh,
me or
we
it's a
could
past
talk
life
about
carry
that.
in. Like, I
Yes.
just think there's, you get to a T in the road and it's like, I either go down the lineage and figure out why I picked this up, or I need to go down to a past life. That's kind of how I view it. And I'm sure,
Well, you can. You definitely can. In those cases where you're not sure, I would probably ask the client, like, does it matter to you where it comes from, or do you just want to release it? Or we could even say, like, let's go into hypnosis and let the subconscious take you where you need to go and just leave
yeah,
it as an open thing, because your
yeah,
your subconscious is extremely powerful. Now,
yeah,
I I've kind of started I don't know. It's almost like a subcategory of the subconscious, which I have kind of, what am I trying to say? I've kind of familiarized myself with this term as a subconscious category, which is superconscious. Now, I do believe superconscious is part of subconscious. I don't
yeah,
think that they are two completely separate things, but I do think that access to the superconscious is a deeper, it's like superconscious, you're reaching up to your guides, to your higher
Yeah.
wisdom, to the spirit realm. Subconscious is what is stored in you. What is stored
Mhm.
from your experiences, possibly DNA as well. I'm not
Right.
ruling it out.
Right.
One thing I wanna be sure everybody knows, I don't know anything, okay? I have we all don't know we don't know
Right.
for sure. We have
Right.
theories, we have what feels good to us, we have things we
Yep.
believe. Of course, science exists, but what I'm saying now is all theories. You can call it whatever you want. The
Yeah.
point is,
Yeah.
it is a fact that you can get to a certain level of trance and
Yep.
experience a spirit guide meeting, a past life session,
Yes.
a life between life, which is one of my favorite things
Yes.
to do also. And it's one of the most powerful things to do. A life between life session shows you why you chose to come here right now and why you chose this body. Like if you knew, let me just kick you a scenario, guys. If you knew that your soul chose the color of your hair, the color of your eyes, the parents that you have, your height, right? Like,
Yeah.
basically, here's how again, this is another gamer reference. I'm really on one today
I
about things.
love it.
I don't usually do this many in one episode, but it's like choosing your avatar,
Yeah.
like you choose I don't know if it's choose the person and then the parents or choose the parents and then the person, but I would
Right.
say in my case, I probably chose the parents first
Mhm.
and then chose the child that would be made with those parents.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because there's no doubt that those 2 people were the perfect ones to
Yeah.
craft this creature right here.
Yeah. I feel that way as well, Lindsay. I totally agree because I felt like our son Augie, I'm like, he chose us. And I mean this with the complete and utmost respect for his birth parents. I my soul just told me from the day we landed in LA and found out we were chosen that he chose them to be a vessel,
Yep,
that he chose us to do the raising. And I have felt a soul connection with
yep.
him. Like, I'm sure we've had a past life together. I have no doubt about that. But, like, yeah, I fully believe that with all of my heart.
Mhm.
And then he chose his body. I fully believe that because it's
Mhm.
wild to me since we've had him, how many people that don't know that we've adopted have made comments about, like, oh my gosh, he looks just like your husband. And I'm like, okay, cute. You know what I
Oh
mean?
my
Like, I
gosh.
just fully believe that.
Yeah.
But, like you said before, like, I don't have any this is just my opinion,
Yeah,
this
this
is
is
just
just
what my
what
soul
feels
tells
good
me.
to us, I
Yep,
think, and I will
exactly.
never stop hammering that home because that's the most
Yep,
important thing. Now the problems come when what feels most good to us is what we feel like everyone should do. That's a big no for me.
right,
I hate
right.
that so much. Like, don't shove
Yes.
anything down my throat, and so
No, no.
I'm just hopefully, like, spoon feeding you gently, not force
Yes.
feeding you
Yep,
whatever I believe, because it does feel good to me, but it might sound like poppycock to you.
right.
But that is important. That's an important distinction I do want to say because it
Yep,
goes both ways, right? Like I
it
must have
does.
chose my parents in the same way that my kids chose me
Yep,
for better for
yep,
worse, right? They chose you to be the one to lead them through this life as the parent.
yep,
And it's the same with birth parents, with
yeah,
any kind of adoption, with a surrogacy, with all the
yep,
kinds of things. All the ways that we can come into this planet is intentional. The way you
yeah.
enter this planet and the way you exit the planet is very intentional by the
I
soul.
agree.
Usually.
Yep,
Again, I don't know. Of course, there's probably exceptions, but these are
right.
just what I've seen, what I've found, what I believe throughout my training and learning and experience. So,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Can you talk to soul contracts? Because that's always
Yeah.
been a term it's still a new term to me, but I am
Uh,
so intrigued by it in like the deepest way.
so to answer this, I have to tell a story. Is that okay?
Yeah, please. Yep, story time.
The best way sometimes to answer a question is to illustrate it. So I'm just going
Mhm.
to do that. So
Yep.
I had a past life. No, that's not true. I starting with a lie. Sorry. I had a friend at Channel. Okay. I still have her as a friend. She's a dear friend, but I used to go to her all the time in
Mm,
my early hypnotherapy days. We trained at the same institute. And when I was learning past lives and soul journeys as a certification piece of my training, she came in as a guest teacher and she did like a whole channeling session to just answer questions. It was like a fun like thing. So I ended up befriending her very quickly and I was like, I'm gonna come see you a lot. So
yeah.
I did. Anyway, one of the sessions I asked about my mother
Makes sense.
specifically. Hard R, right? You all know what that means, my mother. Okay. I asked about my mother And
Yeah.
God bless her. But I asked about her, like, what's going on there? What is this? What is this? What is this situation?
Yeah.
And my friend who was in the channel at the moment, like she was channeling actively. She answered me very kindly and said, "Do you let me check with your guides to see if I can answer this question for you because it is a very big it's a big part of your contract." And I was like, "Okay."
Mm.
Spoilers. Turns out my in one of my past lives, I was a follower of the goddess Isis, right? I was one of those priestesses, okay? And I had a
Yeah.
mentor who was like, I was supposed to take over for her when she died. She was very old, and I was like the next in line to like take over as the high priestess or whatever in ancient Egypt. And
Oh, love Egypt. Cool.
yeah, it's been
Cool.
yeah, I never if you had asked me before this, like, have you ever, had a ties to Egypt or think you were there? I'd be like, "No, it's probably in, like, Scotland getting burned or something." I don't know. It's like, I never really would have thought Egypt, but I mean, we've been around for thousands of years.
Yeah, we have.
So, of course, we've been everything. We've done it
Yep.
all.
It
At
makes
this point
sense.
so I was meant to take over for her, and she was so old and so advanced as a soul that when she died, she just kinda laid down and her soul left. Like,
Oh,
no
wow.
pain, no nothing, just bye.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
howdy. And so that's how advanced this soul was. Now, at the point where I was supposed to take over for her, I got ambushed and muck ducked. Sorry, that's the office word I use for murdered.
I
I
love
mean,
that. Okay. I love that. I'm following.
I say it around the house a lot, sorry. But
That's smart.
I got by another person that I thought was my friend, but she was very jealous because I was always the favorite. Well, guess who that
Uh-huh.
was? My
Okay. Your
mother
mom.
and who is now my mother. So, didn't work out for me. It actually didn't work out at all because I got. Now,
Yeah.
the high priestess, the one that died, the old one, she is now one of my guides. This was all she said all of this in the same, like, channeling session. Like, she stuck around with me. She's still my girl,
Mm.
and she watched all of this happen apparently. So a soul contract, this is a soul contract. Karma is a weird word for me
Yeah.
because I don't know that I get completely on board with the idea that, like, you do something bad to me, so now I have to do something bad to you. It's
Mm.
rather like an equalization. It's a calibration. It's an
Sure.
equilibrium, right? So
Yep.
if you kill me in a past life, guess what? Now you have to be my mom and take care of me.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
that is a soul contract. Now,
Okay.
we all have soul contracts with pretty much everyone. Anyone we encounter, no, we're thinking of finite numbers, but I don't think those exist
Right.
in the spirit realm.
Right.
Now, I could have one with a guy I saw on the news. I could have one with my mom. We have one. We,
Mhm.
isn't that cute? We signed
Yeah.
one to come to meet
Yeah.
today and have this amazing conversation and
For
light
for
people up,
real.
hopefully. It's just so beautiful to think about. Why not?
Mm.
Why not just think that life is magic? Why not think that
Yep.
maybe we have soul contracts with the people we love and that we've been traveling together for lifetimes and
Mm.
being all the different roles and experiencing different things and growing and evolving and just becoming a beautiful part of this amazing tapestry of
Yeah.
life. Now, your son chose a vessel, but chose you as the parent. But
Mhm.
you also had all of these different experiences in your life. That is the
Mhm.
tapestry. Those are the threads that we weave together. That is
Mhm.
the entirety of existence. There's ancient cultures that view a tapestry as the beginning of the world. And I think that
Mhm.
is so perfect because
Yeah.
it really speaks to like all these different threads, all these different experiences, these different people come together to create this huge, magnificent piece of art.
Mm.
But it looks to us like chaos, absolute
Yeah.
chaos. Like,
Yeah.
especially as a genealogist,
Oh, I
do you
bet.
know how many ancestors I have that almost were in the wrong place at the wrong time and
Yeah.
just in the nick of time made it to another generation? Like, it is absolutely ridiculous. Do you know how many miracles had to occur for you to be listening to
Right.
this podcast right now? It is
Yes.
chaos,
I
but it's
love that.
also so beautiful. I could
I
talk
love
about
that.
it.
Oh, I could see why. Yeah, that is such a great way of explaining it because I've always wondered, like, okay, so when they use words like soulmates and twin flames and soul
Uh,
families and soul groups, and I'm like, okay, do all of those fall under
yes,
the umbrella of like soul contracts? And
yes.
now that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, your
Okay.
soul group,
Okay.
your soulmates. My son, I think all my sons are my soulmates, but I definitely have a special
Mhm.
connection with one in particular that
Sure.
I just recognize.
Yeah.
And we don't always travel with the same. Let's say you have a group of 10 souls in your soul group. You may
Mhm.
travel with 2 or 3 in this life. the other
Mhm.
4 in the next life, you know? So,
Yeah.
yes, they are in your nucleal soul group, but they don't always because they have their own stuff they gotta figure out and experience
Right.
too. So,
Right.
they're doing their own thing sometimes, but a lot of the time, they will come through with you because it's just fun to travel
Yeah.
together, to have these experiences together.
Well, and we're just like naturally meant for community. I mean,
Yeah.
tribes have been a thing since the beginning
Mhm.
of time. Like
Yeah.
we're just inclined.
It's just fun.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
will have a few people that are extra special close with you. Usually it shows up in
Hmm.
your life as people you choose to marry, people you choose to birth or have as your children, people you
Mm.
choose to have as your parents. And those are, for better for worse, they're the ones that are closest to you. Now, if this is a hard concept for you, and I completely understand as somebody who has a mother wound,
Yep.
I definitely
Yes.
understand.
Yep.
There's another book, I'm gonna give you another book. It's called The Little Soul and the Sun. Have you ever heard of this book?
No. No.
It's a kid's book, but it's
The
the
little
best.
soul of the sun
The Little Soul and the Sun.
and the sun.
So I'm gonna give you a basic rundown, okay?
Okay.
And if you don't have this, please get this. If you have kids, get this book.
I'm
Oh my
getting
god.
it for Augie.
So it's my kid's favorite book. Like, I cry every time I read it. I can't help it. But it's by the same author that I can't remember the other book. It's a famous book. It's like Letters from
Okay.
Heaven or something like that. I can't
Well, sure.
um anyway, it's beautifully illustrated. I am half tempted to just go get it and to show you, but it's beautifully illustrated. It's like
Mm.
this little boy in like white robes. So he's a soul. All the souls are kids in white robes and he's talking to the sun and he's like I'm just a candle on the sun. And he's like, without you, there wouldn't be a sun kind of thing. And then he's like, I want to go to Earth. And if I'm perfect in every way, then what is there left to learn? And he's like, well, you got to go to Earth. I'm really paraphrasing it. And he's like,
Yeah.
okay, well, what do you want to learn when you go to Earth? And he's like, I think I want to learn what it's like to forgive. I think that'd be cool. That'd be a cool thing to learn.
Oh my gosh, love this. Okay.
And he's like, "Okay, well," sorry, he's not going to Earth yet. He's like, "If I'm perfect, what is there left to learn? I'd like to learn forgiveness." And he's like, "Well, you can't learn that here because everybody's perfect here. You gotta go to Earth." And he's like, "Well, who's gonna come with me? Like, if I'm gonna go down and learn this." And one soul steps forward. And this is the part that makes me cry every time. And she steps forward and she's like, "I'll come with you." And he's like, "Well, how are you going to show me how to forgive?" And she's like, "I'm going to do something because I love you so much. I'm going to do something so horrible to you that it will cause you to forgive me." And as she's speaking, as you turn the pages of this dialogue, she's pulling on this like black cloak of darkness and clouds. And she's like, "But I might forget who I am when I do this horrible thing to you. You have to help me remember who I am." And it's because I
Wow.
might lose myself. And this little boy's like, "Thank
Mm.
you so much. I just thank you for loving me so much to come down and help me with this. And you're so great. And of course, I'll help you remember who you are. And because we just love each other." And it's just like, are you
Wow.
kidding me right now? Like, I know I'm like fluffing it up because if I
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
serious, it will make me cry. But it's
Yeah.
like
That's fair.
even the people that come down to hurt you, if you could believe for a second that they love you so much that they're helping you learn something through this experience and they chose to,
Hmm.
and you chose to, doesn't it? Let's just play here. Doesn't it make you feel a little bit lighter that you may have, or at least your soul may have a
Yeah.
little bit more control
Yeah.
than just being flown about in a chaotic universe? Like
Yes.
it's just so much nicer, in my opinion, to
Yes.
believe that there is some rhyme or reason, there is some sort of
Yep.
order, and
Yep.
it's all in agreement. All in
Yep.
agreement.
As somebody who recently, I say rehealed because after like a lot of years of my dad not living around me, the year I became a parent, moved back after not
Mhm.
living around him for like 20 something years. And I don't believe that's a coincidence. But, anyways, that's not for this episode. So he moved back into our lives and he's in his mid 70s, he's aging. And so it reopened my father wound that I thought
Yeah.
I had just completely healed and tied with a bow and closed.
Right.
Yeah, and so
Don't we always
mm,
just think it's fine, I did it.
yeah, I've done the work, we're done. But we reopened that box and I'm back in hypnotherapy and doing all of this forgiveness work with that. And because of where I'm at now spiritually,
Mm.
exactly what you just said, it's like, it's frustrating. Don't get me wrong. It's
Yeah,
frustrating
because 'cause you're still in
AF.
it.
Yeah, because I'm still a human in this
Yeah.
lifetime. So, like, yeah, it's frustrating, but it's like how my therapist explains it, it's like surface level frustrating. I'm
Mhm.
not like holding on to resentment with it anymore.
Ooh.
But because of where I'm at spiritually, I can exactly what you said. Like, well, our souls chose to go through this together. And so I can't really take it super. I mean, I could take it super personal. I could choose to resent him and be angry at him,
Well,
but
you did that already.
right. And so, yeah, it's been such a good
Mhm.
experience for me now rehealing this from the perspective I'm at now spiritually because I just don't really take it personal anymore. It's like, well, this is just what our souls chose to experience together.
Yeah. It's like level 1 healing, and now you're on, like, level 2 healing.
Yeah,
Next level,
100%.
you.
100%. Yep, I would agree.
And
Yeah.
I think that if you tried to heal it all in one go, you wouldn't have been able to anyway. I think
No.
the level of healing that you're at now, and this is true for a lot of people, the level of
Yeah.
healing that you're at now, you couldn't have held on to back then. You had to
No.
be this version in order to
Yep.
hold that healing and to process all the things that are happening. And I literally am going through, I don't know if I'm still going through it. I probably am. The second you think you're done, you're not. But
Right.
in 2025 I had a huge healing, integration, purging, cleansing, relearning situation. Like the entire
Mhm.
year I feel like was just a bunch of shedding and relearning and integration that I know I could not have done in 2020. That was a
Mm.
whole different thing. So I think if you are going through that and you do feel like it's the same but not the same, it's not the same. You're a completely different person. Did you know that you can never have the same experience twice? Even if, like, you went to a movie, you saw the movie is great, you wanna bring your friend, you see the movie again, it's not the same experience because 'cause you're with someone different, and you
Mm.
are different. You can
Mhm.
never have the same relationship twice, you can never see the same movie twice, you can never experience anything twice because
Mm.
you are a different person from the first time you experienced it.
Ooh, I like that concept. Okay.
So if you're
Okay.
thinking like, "Oh, I'm in this pattern and I'm never gonna get out," there's no pattern, you're
There's no
different.
pattern. Yeah. Yep.
Wouldn't
It's
that
a
be
different
cool if there was no pattern and everything was new? Like, that's
yeah.
what it is what it is, you know?
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, I like that. And I think that concept of soul contracts, of understanding that, our souls chose this lesson, our souls chose this person. I think it helps to relieve a lot of blame, relieve a lot of victim mindset, relieve a lot of resentment that
mhm.
otherwise our physical beings really want to hold on to. Like they,
Yeah.
for some reason, they
For
love
some sense
leveling down.
justice or like we don't have control over it, so we try, and this is how it
Hmm.
manifests as control, and it just hurts us,
Yeah.
It's never good for us.
Yeah, but if you're in the world of like, I want to level up, and if this resonates with you, I just think, why not try it
Mhm.
on? Why not attempt to like, yeah, you know what? This actually puts peace on my heart. It makes me feel better about a lot of things in my life. Great.
Yeah.
Carry that with you then, because otherwise it's like society and media wants us to level down and choose victimhood
Yes.
and choose blame and resentment. But
And
like,
fear.
why? Fear, 100%. Yeah. I mean, yeah. So, like, why? Why would you wanna live that leveled down version of your life when you could try
Mhm.
this new perspective on that actually makes you feel lighter and actually gives you peace?
Yeah. I just
And yeah,
I just think, like, the world is hard enough with
yeah,
things that are out of our control. You do
yep.
not have control over anything except
No,
yourself.
it's an illusion if you
So
think you have
if you
control.
had control just over yourself and over
Yeah,
how you feel, isn't that
yeah,
just fun? Can we just have a little bit of fun? And if you
yeah,
try it on and you don't like it, try something different. But, you
yeah,
know, I just think there's nothing wrong with letting it be a little more fun for yourself because my
yeah. I
gosh.
mean, I'll be honest, like, initially learning about past lives, I was like, "I have to sit with this for a hot minute because I just" as somebody who grew up
Yeah.
and I don't mean
I
to
was
roll my
just gonna
eyes,
ask.
but, in a
I was like,
primarily
did you grow up with different things? Yeah.
just like a Christian household,
It's
which
very
is
hard.
fine,
Yeah, no,
but
it's
it's hard. Yeah, yeah, and so it challenged me initially, but the more I sat with it and the more I went within, the more I connected to my intuition, it was like, "No, wait, though, like, this actually brings me peace, so why am I fighting it?" You know what I
and
mean? So
and in my opinion, it makes so much more sense than just we're here, we die,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
nature has been telling us this since the planet began. Like
Mhm.
everything looks like it's dead in spring and it comes back, or in winter and it comes back in spring, fresh
Yep.
as ever, bright
Yep.
green, brand
Yeah.
new. Like what, why, how, you know what pisses me off?
Go
Sorry.
there. Go there.
How intentionally severed we have become from nature. We wear shoes
Mhm.
outside, everything to disconnect us. We have
Mhm.
windows keeping us from the elements. And yes, of course, it's winter, so I don't want my window open, but we
Yep.
have walls separating us. We
Yep.
have, shoes outside. We have layers. We have different calendar. They changed the
Mhm.
calendar
Mhm. I
from a
know.
nature-based following nature
Yep.
to adding 2 extra months for no
Mhm.
reason, except
Yep.
the church holidays fell on these weird calendar. Don't get me started. There's
No, I
no
I hear you.
it doesn't make we've made it not make sense, and that dissonance, that de-resonance, I don't even know if that's a word,
Yeah.
that we had the resonance we had with nature has, through no fault of our own, but
Mhm.
people have been very intentional, men,
Yeah.
sorry, they have
Yep.
in history to
Yep.
sever us from that natural
I
connection that we have. And it really, really makes me mad. So, you know
I
what?
agree, Lindsay.
I denounce January and February.
I love that. I love that.
October is supposed to be the
The
10th
end of the
month
year.
or the eighth month. November,
Okay.
9. December, 10. Hello.
Mhm.
What are we
Mhm.
doing, guys? Wake up.
Right.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Right.
This is me
No,
unplugging from the
I
matrix in real time. And I just cannot the fact that like we've been told that nature is not that important. Who cares about the earth? Like, what do you mean? It's
Mhm.
the most important thing. It's the only thing keeping us alive. The
Right.
only thing
Right.
keeping us alive.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah,
Anyway, go touch some
you're
grass if
really
you can, please.
speaking no, you're really speaking to me because, like, we have yet to put shoes on Augie, and he's 10
Yes.
months old this month, and I don't take it personal. I mean, that's a pretty strong word, but, like, when people gift us shoes, I literally am like, "What
Yeah.
are you doing? We're not putting
I
shoes on a baby." Like,
yes.
no, he's gonna be grounded for as long as humanly possible, okay? Like,
Exactly. Yes.
I try not to, like, get angry about it, but deep down, I'm like, "Well, this has gone in the Goodwill box, and I feel bad because you had really good intentions when you gave us these, but I'm not putting shoes on my baby." Like, I want him to
Yeah.
be grounded and connected to nature for as long as humanly possible, you
Talk
know?
to the trees. The trees
Yep,
remember, the trees know you. You might
yep,
not know your trees, but your trees know you. I 100% guarantee that. If you
yeah.
just sit and touch your tree and listen for a second, don't be shocked when it starts talking to you. And I promise you, I'm not
Mm,
crazy. I mean, I am a little bit, but not with
mm.
this, not with
I
trees.
love that. I love that. We have a huge life-giving tree in our backyard, and it is I mean, it looks like it's been here for, like, since the dawn
Oh,
of time. Like, it is huge, and it is just so life-giving. It
yes.
just like, we were meant to be at this property, and, yeah, there's something about trees for sure.
I
I
could not.
agree.
I honestly, there's so many things I could talk ad nauseum about, and
Mm,
this is one of them. Like reconnect to nature. The more you
yeah.
reconnect to nature, the more preposterous our humans on this planet will seem.
Mhm.
That's the other thing. We're kept indoors all day at a 9 to 5 job. Why do you think that is? Yes, it's to contribute to society and feed
Mhm.
into the cog of consumerism, but it's also let's keep you separate. Keep you
Yeah.
separate from the nature. Because
Yeah.
once you remember your part in nature, you're never going to be the same. And they don't.
I love that. I feel like my therapy sessions would be so much stronger if we could go out to a trail and just like
Mhm.
walk the trail for an hour where I'm not sitting in a room staring directly at you and you're like feeling awkward and,
Yeah.
put on the spot. But instead, we're walking side by side. We're surrounded by green. And
Oh my gosh.
I just think that how powerful therapy would be is if it was always out in nature. Yeah.
Everything I'm saying right now is very, very much with the mind that I'm looking out my window at a blanket of snow right now. But if you're
Yeah.
saying this is going out in summer, then you guys have no excuse. If you're in the northern hemisphere and it's summer for you, please go outside when you hear this. Go outside,
Yeah.
hug a dang
Yeah.
tree. I promise you, you'll feel better. It's the
Yep.
medicine you didn't know you needed, but you do. We've always
Mm,
needed it. We just forgot, and we wonder why we're so chaotic and anxious and
right.
you know
Right.
afraid all the time.
Yeah. Yep.
It's
I
either fear or
agree.
love, and I'm done with the other one.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at our ancestors and the amount of generations that lived mostly outdoors,
Oh.
I mean, there's a reason we're like the most anxious generation outside of the whole COVID situation is like, yeah,
Yep.
we're just so disconnected from where we're supposed to be thriving, which is out in nature.
Out in nature.
Yep,
I know.
absolutely. Okay, so I like to keep my episodes around an hour, but like, let's be honest,
No,
Lindsay. Let's be honest. We could like,
we really could.
we could keep talking about so many things, but I'm okay if we go slightly over. But I'm wondering if there's any spiritual topic outside. We've hit on soul contracts, we've hit on the subconscious a little bit, we've hit a
Of
lot of
nature.
things, but is there anything in particular? Is there any concept or is there any topic that you're like, you have the mic for another, let's say 15 minutes?
Oh,
What
man.
do you just like really want to make sure you hit on? Like, what's important to you today, right now in your
Honestly, can I
practice?
really be this episode is perfect timing because the one thing that's been
Yeah.
on my mind the most is being hesitant to talk about the soul contracts with people we may not like.
Ooh, can we? Yes,
But
please.
that's the thing. We did. We talked about I feel like we
Okay.
did. I mean, I'm sure there's so much more we can talk about, but the fact of like it's an agreement between and I've been so hesitant to talk about it because
Mm-hmm.
you hear like, "Oh, well, you chose that bad person in your life." It's like ridiculous
Mm-hmm.
to say to
Mm-hmm.
someone. I know that, but I also know I feel that with every person I would categorize as toxic or abusive
Mm-hmm.
or, just not a
Mm-hmm.
great flavor in my life. I definitely
So
100% feel like it was an agreement.
So my mind immediately goes to like this ex that I was with for a season when I was in college, who at the time I know for a fact I was rebounding, but
You
now
got to appreciate a good rebound sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, no hate.
100%. Yes, no hate. But now the thought of like ever having to hear his voice makes me want to like ram my head into a wall. And I mean
Ooh.
that with the most love and
Do
respect and
you?
kindness because that
How do you
sounds
say
so
that with
petty.
love and kindness? I want to ram my head into a wall respectfully.
This is like the very immature, petty version of Stephanie talking.
Yeah.
But like, so we had a contract. We
Yeah. There is an ex that I have. I don't think any reason on the planet he would ever want to tune in
oh,
unless he's a secret stalker, but um
same. I'd be
there
shocked.
is an ex that I'm thinking of that is probably my least favorite. Okay. Now, I like to the feather in my cap is that I like to think that I'm on good terms with most of my exes.
Yeah,
I don't there's no bad blood except for this one who
sure. Yeah.
really oh, yeah, really put me through the ringer, and I know
Mm,
I'd put him through the ringer, right? Like, there are just
mm,
some people in your life that will bring the worst out in you, and you bring the worst out in them, and that's the lesson.
yeah.
Maybe sometimes the lesson is, "Here's what I don't want. Here's what I know for
Hmm.
sure I don't want to in my life." And you
Mm,
can't figure out what you do want without the contrast. You just can't.
oh,
There's no
yes.
day without
Okay.
night. You wouldn't even know what day was
Right.
without night.
It's like you appreciate the good because you've experienced the bad type of.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
So when
Okay.
I found my now husband, who I
Yeah.
realized is the first person romantically that I let myself completely show who I was to. Like none
Mhm.
of my exes knew that I had a secret obsession with ghost hunting.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like that I wanted to be a forensic psychologist. Like nobody knew
Mm,
that about me because I never offered that information. Because why would I?
yeah.
I don't feel safe. That tells me that I don't feel safe with you. Now, did I
Right.
realize that at the time? No. But
Mm,
I knew that there were things I just felt weird talking about with certain
right.
people. There's nothing I feel weird talking about. In fact, I have to be like, "All right, I'm gonna let you get back to work now," because I will talk to him about anything, and
Yeah.
I have I don't know what it is, but I like I like seeing his point of view on a lot of things. I like
Mm,
showing him myself, and he welcomes it.
yeah.
I would probably never appreciate that or know what that felt like without having to deal with all these weirdos who didn't care to know about me and in
Oh,
fact wanted to
yeah.
change me.
Yeah.
Can you believe at one point I had like blonde hair because my boyfriend wanted me to?
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, I
Actually,
can't
well,
envision
I
that.
mean, it is true and it isn't. Like I definitely always gave myself the green light to do it. If whoever I was with at the time said it would be a good idea, then I would do it. Again, I
Yeah.
was like teenager 20s. Okay, so let me off
Yeah.
the hook here.
Yeah. Yep.
Definitely not that anymore. But I think there are some like when you said you when, immature Stephanie's coming out. I think it's important to know
Totally.
that if my high school best friend comes over, I'm 14 again, 15. There's no chance I'm gonna be the the
Mhm.
professional or as professional as I am already, but, like,
Yeah.
there's no chance. I'm going straight back to my NSYNC days. We're dancing to
Yep.
at my heart in my living room, and I'm
Yep.
dating myself, but leave me alone.
Yep.
Don't come for me. Uh,
Yep.
it's just it is what happens, and so I think that those
Mm.
all those people, for better for worse, the good, the bad, the ugly, emphasis on the ugly, are very important to crafting this work in progress that is,
Yeah.
more done than she was and
Yeah.
is still finding new triggers to work on and new things that make me feel insecure and less than and make me feel powerful and worthy and all the things. Like
Mm.
this is the work. And I think if we can appreciate as hard as it is, okay. Think of the person you hate most in the world.
Well, that's hard. I don't have a lot. I don't like myself to think
I don't
about
like it either, but
hate.
listen, there's someone.
There's somebody.
There's someone.
Yep. I agree.
Um, they're here to serve you.
Yeah.
It's
Because
so hard. It's hard. Their
their
soul.
soul chose this. Their soul loved you, even if the human
And there are
version.
people I don't want to believe that about. And
I,
this is
yep.
the hard part is like there are people I do not want to believe that their soul knows anything. I
Yep.
don't want to believe that they knew anything. And I
Yep.
love the soul. The soul is my favorite part of of anything. Is like
Yeah.
the spirit, higher wisdom that is perfect and part of me. Your soul is part of your worst enemy's soul. I hate to break it to you, but it's all part of the one,
So,
the source, right? And
yeah.
when we talk about from Christian terms, when we talk about, like, the Holy Spirit, God,
Right.
the
Right.
divine, it is all one. It's all one.
Yes.
This sep
Yep.
this is the thing, you know?
Yep.
Going back to the separation from nature. They've not only separated us from nature, they've separated us from ourselves. There's a
Hmm.
reason why when I had my first son, I didn't know anything. I was a new mom. I was listening to all the doctors. They
Yeah.
snipped his umbilical cord immediately. They took
Hmm.
him away
Hmm.
immediately,
Hmm.
which is
Separation.
probably the norm, right?
I
When I
know,
had my
but
second son, I was like, "Hell no."
good
And
for
I had a
you.
midwife, luckily. I went to a birthing
Good.
center, and I did not do a hospital birth.
Good for you.
Look, everybody has their own
No
journey.
shame. No
This is mine.
shame. Yes.
This is mine.
Yep. No shame.
I refused because it was such a horrible experience. I did a
Yep.
birthing center. I was in very good hands. Luckily, I didn't have a high risk pregnancy. Talk to your doctor, whatever. But I
Right.
do your own research. I had the honor, and I do say that very with a heavy. It was such a beautiful honor to hold him immediately. Not only him, TMI. I was holding him and my placenta
Yeah.
wrapped up in a paper towel because he was
Yeah.
still connected to it
Right.
because
Right.
he
That
was
makes
still
sense.
getting nutrients from it.
Right.
And those 2 experiences could not be further apart. And I think
Hmm.
it is so important to remember skin to skin.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
It is so important to remember the connection that we have with each other.
Yep.
This is just my way to translate this idea, which is
Yep.
we are also connected to each other.
Yeah.
Raindrop from a cloud, a raindrop is still part of the cloud. It's just
Yeah.
it's fallen away, so it feels like it's separate, but it's not. It's a drop in the ocean, and then it falls into the ocean, which is all one big thing. So it's
Right.
like and then it cycles around and does the same thing. What do you think that is? Reincarnation, baby. There's another metaphor, but,
Yeah.
like, nature has been
Yeah.
showing us this.
I
It shows
agree.
us what we need, and we've just, unfortunately, been brought up in a society where that's ridiculous, where that's preposterous, where you need to look outside of yourself for all
Yeah.
the answers when they've been you the whole time. The
So
whole time.
what is your take on, if there's somebody that you are struggling with in a
Mm.
relationship and like obviously I know we have this soul contract of some kind. You're here to teach me these hard lessons and I understand that. And at the same time, I think you are a very new soul compared to my soul. But yeah, our souls, I guess what I'm asking is like, what about these brand new souls that have not learned all of the past life lessons that maybe you or I have learned? That's sometimes where I struggle is I just feel like, but it just seems like you are a very new soul compared to me. Not in a, like, I'm better than you way,
Well,
but in a, like, I
this
just
is
spiritually feel that way.
this is interesting
Yeah.
because there is also a theory that there are no new souls.
Never heard that.
The
Okay.
theory is, if we buy into energy cannot be created or destroyed,
Uh-huh,
energy is
uh-huh.
the same amount that it's always been. If we
Okay.
follow that theory, it stands to reason that there are no new souls. All the souls that were
Mm,
ever created are already here. Now, when you say new soul, it's not, I don't not believe in new soul. There was a time where I was like, oh, yeah, there's no new souls. We're all just, at this point, we're all old souls. We're just all,
okay.
I don't
Okay.
necessarily do that anymore. I do think that, okay, so let's say this person, this hypothetical new soul that you're thinking of, let's say
Yeah.
you both were created spark at the same time.
Uh-huh.
You went on to be like, I'm going to see what this life has to offer. I'm going to go over and over and over. I'm going to learn all the things. Maybe
Yes.
this one, even though it's created, was like, nah, I'm going to hang back. I'm a little afraid, or I don't really feel like it, or whatever the reason may be.
Yep.
I think you
Yep.
should know. When I say you, I'm always talking to your audience. I'm
This
sorry to
yeah.
do that.
Yep.
The thing you should know is no one is ever forced to incarnate.
No.
Ev It is always the soul being like, "Yeah, I think that would be a good idea because I have this
Yep.
higher perspective as the soul, and I think this lesson would be very good for us." But it's always a choice to come. It's always a choice to come, and there is a reason that you're here right now, which is so
Yeah.
cool to think
Yeah.
about when the world is on fire. Like,
Right.
we
Right.
chose to witness this and, maybe make a change or maybe be part of the revolution, part of the change, part of
Yeah.
the evolution rather that
Yeah.
humanity is going through right now. But yeah, so we're never forced to come. So the way I see like a new soul or maybe a more inexperienced, immature soul would be maybe, again, all theories, they just hung back for a little longer than you did while you were out learning being a Viking and killing and murdering people. And then you
Right.
graduated to maybe being a monk where you hated women. And then you graduated to, like,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
we've been all the things.
Right.
I like to think that, see, and again, I don't know. Uh,
No,
my
I
my
get
knee-jerk
you.
reaction is gonna be like, well, I think all religious people maybe are a little more immature because they're looking at the
Mhm.
lower vibration version of spirituality.
Yeah, I agree.
However, who knows? Maybe it's a very advanced soul that was like, "I wanna see what it's like
Right.
to be
Right.
in a religion for this lifetime and just see what
Right.
happens."
Yep.
I don't it's so unique. You think humans
You're
are
right.
unique? Like, souls
Souls.
are unique, and who knows
Yes.
what they're deciding to do and what they think is the best thing for that soul.
Yeah. That really sits well with me
You
though.
know what I
That
mean?
really
Yeah,
does.
I just
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. I wish I
And
had
I
I wish I had a crystal ball. By the way, I just learned how people divine with a crystal ball. I never knew before. I thought you looked into it and you just saw, like, images,
yeah.
but the
Yeah.
crystal ball has, like, imperfections inside of it, like any crystal does, and so
Right.
as you put a light under it and you rotate it, you, like, interpret kind of like tea leaves, you interpret what those
Oh.
I know, it's so cool. I had
Wow.
no idea.
That's
Anyway,
not
that's just
like a
a fun fact.
mythical thing, like crystal, like
Well, where do all
mystics
myths
and
come from?
oh, well, yeah, that's a good point.
A myth
Okay.
has to come from
A
somewhere.
myth.
I think that
Right.
we've made it into a joke in the same way that, hypnotherapy has the watch going back and forth. I've
Yes.
never used a pendulum for hypnotherapy. It is like
No.
kindergarten version. No
Yeah.
offense to anyone who does it. There are so many better ways to do it though, honestly.
Yeah, as I started explaining it to current therapy clients that I'm gonna be offering this, I always have to tell them, like, it's not what Hollywood portrays
Mhm.
it as. Like, trust me, it looks and feels very different than
Yeah.
what's playing in your mind right now.
Crystal ball is literally just another tool to interpret your own your gifts, your psychic gifts, your
Mm,
intuitive gifts for the client in front of you. So yeah,
that's
it's
beautiful.
just so cool. I think it's so cool. I might learn that next. We'll see.
That's fascinating. That's really fascinating. And how you were talking about the Destiny of the Souls book really made me think like back in the beginning when I just got into like manifestation practices and how everyone was like, oh my gosh, you have to read The Secret. The Secret is like, it's going to
Mm.
unlock the door for you. And then hearing you talk about Destiny of the Souls really sounds familiar to like how people were really talking of The Secret to me in the beginning. So I'm
Here's what I
definitely
want you
going
to
to,
do because we're best friends now. I want you to get the book,
oh, 100%.
DM me on Instagram, but don't get the audiobook. I've had clients and
No,
people
I
get
don't
the
like
audiobook,
those.
and the
No.
only reason I'd say don't get the audiobook is because it's reading a transcript of a conversation, the
Right.
therapist and client while the client is in hypnosis. So I don't know how it would translate well as an audiobook,
Yeah. Yeah.
but tell me as you go through it because I really I'm so into it. I love getting people hooked on this because it's like one of my favorite things ever, and I love geeking out about it with people. So
Yeah. Yeah. I'm excited to add that to my collection. I'm really excited to read that. Lindsay, I cannot thank you enough for agreeing to come
I
on
have
here.
to come back.
I
We have to talk about there's so many more things we could talk about.
After I get certified, I
I'm
would
just
love
inviting
for you to
myself.
come back because I think it could be one of the best things for like me as a brand
Mhm.
new hypnotherapist. I think it could be such a powerful topic to go deeper on.
Yeah.
And I mean, I already came out of the spiritual closet in my practice, but I just wonder like once I have that on my tool belt, if I'm going to go even deeper into
I mean,
that.
I always encourage people to go as deep as they want because there are no
Yeah.
rules. The rules people
No.
told you aren't real. So do what you
Right.
want. As
Yeah.
long as you're not hurting anyone or breaking any laws,
Yep.
which, laws can be subjective, but whatever. As
So if
long as you're not
somebody,
hurting anyone, that's what I'll say. As long as
right.
you're not hurting anyone,
Yes.
do what you want. There are no rules anyway.
I appreciate that. So if somebody wanted to work with you, what are
Yeah.
different ways somebody could work with you?
Okay. So I have kind of two different flavors that I've adopted. So the first way is obviously become a client. We work together each week to help you with whatever you want. So the goals are sky's the limit with whatever you want to work on. Hypnotherapy, I'm sure you know, is very customizable, very malleable to whatever the client wants. So it's a beautiful tool to have. And we do some other fun stuff like EFT. I pull cards for you in your sessions, and it's just a really fun time. If you had fun in this podcast, why don't you have fun and also change the way you
Yeah.
think and change your reality? Like, how cool would that be?
Yes, I agree.
but but
I
the other
agree.
way, if you're not really ready to work with me one on one, or you're just not sure what that would look like, my app is the best. This is honestly the best step one. So it helps you to dip your toes into hypnotherapy, into the kind of work that I offer, and see how it goes for you. Again, we have those monthly events. If it's in summer, then you're going to miss the March one. But just hook up with me wherever you hear this, and I'll get you into the events are usually free to join, so you're not gonna have to worry about being a member if you join it, but I highly encourage everyone to be a member because you get the replay, you get all kinds of
Mm.
bonuses, and the app, though, in general, is just the best way to start and get to know me
Cool.
and how I work and how hypnotherapy works for you.
Love it.
Align your
Love
mind.
that. Align your mind up. And all of this will be in the show notes. You can follow the podcast. That'll be linked in the show notes as well. It's High Vibin' It Podcast. Any
Yeah.
other offerings coming down the pipe in 2026?
Probably.
Yeah, I mean, who
I'm so
knows?
I feel like it's months away. I don't even I have trouble planning like a month in advance. So
That's fair.
I my hope for 2026 is honestly to just get to know as many people as I want, collaborations.
Mm.
Actually, I am doing, oh no, I can't announce that yet. Can
Okay.
I? Should I? Do I? I don't know. Now I've teased it. Now it's weird. Okay. I
Well, it's gonna
might
get
be
edited
having
out.
this is February. So I might be having a side project with a friend of mine where we talk about all kinds of rabbit holey spiritual stuff. So, like,
Awesome.
this kind of thing, like how your worst
Yeah.
enemy is your best soul's friend kind of thing,
Yes.
or like why women who hate men have the best husbands.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
different things like that. Like, we haven't even decided what we're gonna talk about, but I have things that I am craving to talk about,
Yeah.
like how the pyramids what's under the pyramids? Did you hear about there's tunnels under the pyramids? They've done, like, electromagnetic, like, pictures under the ground, and there's, like, tunnels. I love
Yeah.
talking about
It's
this weird stuff. Like, that's what I
it's
wanna
been
talk
a
about.
while, but yeah, that is mind blowing to me.
Mind blowing. How did they do that? And
Right.
that kind of stuff is stuff that I'm really, like, itching to talk about.
Okay. I love it. Like the historian in you is like, let's just go.
Yeah, the historian, like, how the divine feminine was hushed up a long
Yes.
time ago, years, centuries,
Yes.
thousands of years ago, and now we're
Yeah.
living in a patriarchy when we should be living in a matriarchy. I don't
Hmm.
hate men. I just wanna be clear about that. It's funny,
Right.
okay, that
Right.
it is funny how we used to worship women and now somehow we don't.
Yeah. The
Anyway,
irony.
that's
Yeah.
a whole other thing. But yeah, so that's the only thing I can think of is we're gonna probably set up a few conversations and blast them out just to kinda see how it goes as a trial run, how people receive it, and we'll
I
see.
love it.
But I don't
I
know
love it.
I actually do know what it's gonna be called. It's gonna be called spiritual kinks.
Cool. Okay.
So it's like we're reclaiming that word as like it doesn't always have to be sexual. It can be just anything outside the norm, any kind of curiosity.
Love it. So is this going to be like a podcast or is this going to be, it is. Okay. Cool.
I think that's the
Cool.
format that we want to roll it out in and just see how it
Love
goes. And
it.
if we like it, we'll just keep there's never stuff you're never gonna run out of stuff to talk about,
No, no, I agree. I don't think so either.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that. You guys, if you're listening today and you're like, oh, this girl, she's a vibe, you probably need to be listening to our podcast then, honestly, because there's just so many good episodes. I mean, you could binge it for weeks and still not get through it. So there's a lot of good gold in that. But yeah, if anybody wants to connect with Lynnsey more deeply, I will link her Instagram, I'll link her website in the show notes. But more than anything, Lynnsey, I just appreciate you agreeing to come on. I appreciate you sharing your wisdom and sharing your insights with my audience. It means a lot to me, especially as somebody who, like I said before, has been fangirling over you for so long. So, you guys, if there's any part of you that wants to work with Lynnsey or wants to connect more with Lynnsey, I'm going to drop all of her information in the show notes. I highly recommend you reach out to her. I mean, how today's episode flowed, I literally think like that's how a session with her would feel. Just very personable, very much giving you whatever it is your soul needs in that moment. And sometimes, I've gone into sessions thinking like, I know what I want to get out of it, but trust me, you don't always know what you are going in for. Like you think you have an agenda, but then your soul goes in a completely different direction. So go into it. If you were to access her services, go into it with an open mind, go into it with good intentions. But I just think accessing something like that, even if you're on the fence, even if you're unsure if it's for you, just give yourself the benefit of the doubt and go after it, because accessing those services in my own healing journey has literally been the best thing I've ever done for myself, and just has been such a beautiful gift for my soul and my healing journey. And it's kind of like once you open the door, you can't go back. I'm just going to tell you that. Like once you creak it open just
Mhm.
a little bit, like your world's going to be in the best way possible, flipped upside down.
Yeah. Beautifully
Yeah,
said.
Lynnsey, just thank you for everything. Thank you for your insights. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. These are topics that I've never had anyone come onto the podcast to talk about. And so I just have a feeling like this is going to be very well received by my audience. So
Well,
thank
we
you.
can only hope. Thank you so much for having
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. All right, guys. Until next time, if you're not subscribing to my weekly newsletter, please do so. If you just want to learn more juicy information about my personal life, about my soul, about the business, running things behind the scenes, I'd love to have more subscribers. So feel free. The link is in show notes as well. But have a great rest of your week, and I'll talk to you guys all next week.
Real quick before you go, I just want to thank you so much for spending a little time with me today. And congratulations on showing up for you. Every step you take to invest in yourself brings you that much closer to your next level self, and I'm so proud of you. If you loved this episode, share it with someone who could use a little inspiration, or take a screenshot and tag me on socials so we can keep spreading the next level you energy. Thanks again for tuning in, and I can't wait to see you in the next episode. Let's freaking go!